The Devil's Advocate. Keanu Reeves plays a successful lawyer who wins even the toughest cases and has a perfect track record. But when he tries to defend a child molester he knows is guilty, Kevin begins to question his own morals. When the judge calls a break, Kevin goes to the bathroom and begins to question his intentions. This specific bathroom scene plays a major role in the film as it becomes a turning point in Kevin's life. But even after reflecting on his sense of morality, his good intentions are outweighed by his vanity to maintain his perfect winning streak, and so he defends his client and wins the case. But what initially seems like his rise to the top is soon overshadowed by supernatural occurrences that haunt his wife. Meanwhile, he is called upon to defend a billionaire who is accused of eliminating his wife, son, and maid. Too intent on making something of his career, Kevin works hard on his case, but neglects Mary Ann, resulting in Mary Ann losing her mind and then losing her life. But let's take a break here to talk about Mary Ann before she takes her own life. Kevin finds Mary Ann in a church and is in shock, and here Mary Ann confesses to Kevin that she had sex with Milton. She explains it as if he attacked her, but then she confesses that it was a desire she had inside her. She wanted it to happen, so Milton took advantage of that weakness and had brutal sex with Mary Ann. When Milton started the act, she wanted to stop, but she couldn't anymore. She didn't have the will to do it, nor the conviction, even though deep down she hated that act and wanted to stop it, but she had already crossed the point of no return. All that lust of the forbidden act, all that heat that had taken over her body, all that pleasure of the improper act, of knowing that she was about to be possessed by someone who was not her husband, that husband who had now neglected her, plus the attraction of a mature, successful, but above all very manly guy like Milton, a man of the world, educated but with the acts of a true macho, as he demonstrated at that moment. All that exhibition of virility, she could no longer refuse, even if she wanted to. Her insides told her that she had to stop, but her body no longer responded to her interior, only to her desire. And Milton culminated that sexual, animal encounter, intensified to the maximum, to the point of leaving wounds all over her body, because he had an entire afternoon to satisfy his instincts on Mary Ann. So whether Mary Ann was crazy or not, whether she was mentally unbalanced, yes, but Milton was weakening her sanity little by little from the moment they arrived, and that act obviously made him take advantage of poor Mary Ann's will. And now, whether he imagined it all or not, well, it definitely all happened. It was not imagination. Now we go to a diabolical plan, just like that and verbatim. After the suicide of Kevin's wife, he finally wakes up, opens up to life, opens his eyes, and realizes that something is wrong, something is not right, and it is all caused by John Milton. When he confronts him, John reveals that he is the devil and runs a powerful law firm just to establish control of the world. It is also revealed that Kevin was lied to, who was previously told by his mother that his father died before he was born. In reality, John, the devil himself in person, confessed to him that he was his father. John reveals that he has had several children with humans, including Kevin and the beautiful Christabella, Kevin's half-sister, and Kevin himself, his best creations according to Milton. He tells them that he now hopes they will conceive a child, who will not only be the Antichrist, but will also be the future heir to the law firm. Kevin realizes that his winning streak was just a result of the devil trying to stroke his ego and setting the stage for his final act. This discovery causes Kevin to question his own morals again, and instead of falling into the devil's trap, he shoots himself, obviously to put a stop to those plans and not please him. Now let's make another parenthesis here, because this is important. Milton is the devil, but no matter how much power he has, he respects free will, and he explains it this way to Kevin. Because Kevin was accusing him of being just a puppet, that he used him like a puppet, that he was manipulated by him. But Milton answers him that he only sets the scenarios, he only sets the paths. But finally it is the people who choose which path to go and which scenario to take. Even with Kevin he went further. He told him clearly that he was going to take him off the case of defending this murderous billionaire, that there would be other important cases that he could work on, but that here the priority was his wife. He had to take care of his wife since she needed him a lot, because you don't always win. Even Milton himself has lost cases and this is acceptable to him. You don't win all the time. That's what he told Kevin. But Kevin and his vanity argued that if he did that, he would hate Mary and couldn't live with that, and so vanity spoke up and decided for Kevin. Just as Kevin pulls the trigger of his gun and blows his own head off, he finds himself in the same bathroom where he was questioning his morality at the beginning, that is, he's back to the scene where he was defending a child molester, and he realizes that what he just saw was a vision of what would happen if he decided to go down the path of perfecting his own vanity. Well aware of the consequences of his decisions, Kevin now takes the case in a completely different direction, and instead of protecting the child molester, he refuses to defend him. In the final moments of the film, a journalist approaches Kevin and begs for an interview. The reporter even lures him in by saying that he will make him a big star, and Kevin accepts the offer. The reporter then transforms into John Milton, which reveals that this was just a plan deduced by the devil to make Kevin a victim of his vanity again. Vanity, definitely my favorite sin, he says, and it puts Kevin back on the wrong path. Now, was it really just a vision? It wasn't, it all really happened. At one point when Kevin shoots himself, Milton rewinds everything back to the first milestone, which is the bathroom scene, and everything starts over again, only now they're going down a different path, but Milton's intention is to get to the same point. No matter where they go, the goal is to get to the moment where Kevin and his sister give birth to a descendant who will become the king of the world practically, and obviously this king will be manipulated by Milton. Now, we can't know if this has already happened or will happen again, but let's assume that if it has happened and this isn't the first cycle, will Kevin be there living in this time loop forever? Is there no way to end this cursed cycle? I think so, and it's not by finding a holy relic to kill the devil, or some kind of exorcism, or some kind of ritual. I think everything is simpler and more difficult at the same time. Kevin just has to have a strong conviction for the good and the right path to not fall into a bad decision about the scenarios that Milton proposes to him. Let's give an example. When Milton proposes an exclusive interview, he just has to say no thanks, I'm not interested, and stand firm, but he always falls because his vanity is part of him. Milton will never force him to go down the wrong path. He just gives him the options, and Kevin is the one who decides. He just has to stand firm in his decision, and thus he will break the time loop. But Milton has millennia of knowledge, and just like in the movie Saw, he has no credibility in humans and knows that he will never do the right thing.